Hello everyone, Jackie Ding here. Today we're back at PhD Racing Lab because the Tesla behind me is going under the knives. And we have quite a few parts here that we're very keen to show you about. So big thank you to Mountainpass Performance for signing up as PhD Racing's presenting partner and major sponsor and really big main technical partner on this project for the Tesla Model 3 Performance. They are obviously one of the big leaders in this field, in the electric car field, with tuning, with modification, with suspension, and so on and so forth. And we're very keen to learn a lot from them. And first off, they've sent us a few bits and pieces for us to start putting together and seeing how this thing responds to modifications. One of the main things we complained about last time out at Autobahn was the Tesla Model 3's quite literally mid-corner terminal understeer. I could hear the tires screaming at me. Even 2 weeks later when I'm sleeping, I would hear the tortured AO52s crying out to me, give me more camber, it says. And so the guys at Mountainpass have come up with this pretty ingenious little front upper control arm solution. I believe it goes this way. I don't know quite how it orients yet, but
it's pretty easy. You just see the chamfer, it goes together. It also has like a positioning pin in the middle.
It has a positioning pin together.
Love it.
What's really cool is it goes together like this, right? But if you want less camber, they provide shims, right? So you shim these in the middle with the bolts, and it shims out. So you get less camber this way. Obviously, knowing us, we're just gonna go straight on, maximum.
But this reminds me of one car.
What?
GT3.
It does. GT3 is kind of like this.
Yeah, I never liked the just like the smaller one because they always slip.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
so
they fall
with
out
the
of
shim,
range.
it's a lot easier to because they literally wouldn't move at all.
Yeah, you control the actual alignment a lot better.
Yeah, and then you can almost guarantee every time just add a shim on each side. It's even.
It is even. So you don't have to kind of like 3 threads. Arrastra. I should have practiced this. Arrastradero. This is the rear camber arm. This is the MPP rear camber arm. They have a very fancy name. They have a very fancy rear control arm name. Obviously, you want a little more camber in the rear as well. So, in, out, and pull it in, more camber. Pretty neat. Also,
funny things I like about it already.
It tells you spin this way, you go this way to extend it, which it's like small things, details like this that makes it really neat. So also it's because of the fork, it makes neat noises. I kind of like it. Next up, we have the rear toe arm. Fairly similar design, but if you actually hit this with something else, it makes a different noise because the length and everything's different. Why are we talking about this? It's kind of cool. One of the things about it, also the bushings, they have these covers on them, which help keep their life and longevity a little bit longer. It also helps with noise a little bit, doesn't it?
Usually noise is not concerned, just most likely just
prevent
the dust and...
It prevents dust, grime on the road, ice, water, all of those.
Might know is they live in Canada, so they know.
They live in Canada, so
they know corrosion is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
In California, less of the issue, but in Mid-East Canada, it is a legitimate issue.
Over here, Midwest, stuff like that, it would be an issue.
Yeah.
Next part, car's dampers was a little bit soft, all over the place. So, they provided us with these coilovers, which are Mountainpass specific. This is the Sport all-wheel drive coilover, made by KW. Obviously, KW is a pretty good manufacturer. They do tend to know their stuff, and so we're gonna trust these and go with it. Look at it, boom, boom, adjustment right there. Super neat, super cool. Even comes with their own, kind of like the lower mount that goes into the knuckle, really. That's pretty cool. You tighten these, lock them down, slides into the lower control arm or so on. We haven't looked into it, so we need to find out how that actually goes together. A little bit more help on the braking front. Stainless brake lines, which, as we know, kind of is pretty much like a standard for track cars. You really want these to be done. These are front and rear? Yeah, front and rear. Brake lines all the way. So for corners, very neat. Next part, brake master cylinder. We run these on the Supra by Verus. We run it on my S2000. That was by LHT. So for a car this heavy, you really don't want the high firewall to flex under heavy braking applications. So get yourself one of these. It really helps with the flex of the master cylinder. Now we didn't just get stuff from MPP this time. We also asked our good friends at iBuck for some lateral sway control, and they provided with these. The iBuck sway bar kit, which is kind of our usual at this point. We run it on the S2000. We run it on basically all the Supras that come in and out of here with our customer cars all over the world at this point. And they've come up with some pretty thick. Look at this. This is a thick front bar. This is really thick.
That's what she said.
Okay, yes. And triple adjustment on the front. As well as, is it the front or the rear that comes with? It's the rear. The rear that comes with these billet mounts. Super cool. Same sort of design they came with the Supra. And the rear that we have here also, much thinner obviously, but two adjustment positions. So gives us a lot more adjustability with the car, as in how it's reacting and the overall balance, beside just damper adjustments. Sway bars are usually one of the biggest things you can feel on a race car. Make an adjustment, immediately you'll be able to feel a difference on entry, exit, kind of everywhere, mid-corner, so on and so forth. So kind of a go-to, kind of one of my favorite things to adjust on a car, to adjust the balance to my liking. And I'm very excited to be throwing all of these suspension related parts onto the Tesla Model 3 and see how she improves. Fairly interestingly, let's look at the front suspension design a little bit. First off, you got the upper control arm, which is fairly, generic. Then you have this big swooping knuckle. The tire actually sits right here, just underneath it, so can't really go much more with a big, taller tire, if that makes sense. Shock in the back is a integrated design with these welded on legs that actually goes to the lower control arm. So that's a piece that's got to get replaced, and it comes with a sway bar end link mount that goes to the sway bar over here. Front tie rod, very similar. Knuckle, pretty beefy. Obviously centered out in the middle for the drive shaft. There are a lot of sensors to be aware of, like this thing. I think supposedly this gets damaged pretty easily, so you have to be pretty careful of it. And it's kind of expensive, so we will certainly, there you go, certainly be a little bit more mindful of that. Brake lines is that way, fairly simple. That will get replaced. But this piece we are keeping. The bottom lower control arm we're keeping. Tie rod we're keeping. But this is getting replaced. This is getting replaced. Brake lines getting replaced. And kind of goes from there. So this is kind of cool. Damper, obviously, that goes to the wheels this way. And upper control arm mount. But look at this. The mount that usually upper control arm, like on the S2000 per se, these would be on the chassis. But no, this is a bolt-on piece that is actually kind of doubles as the factory damper top hat. That's kind of clever. It saves them time for manufacturing, so they don't have to weld more tabs onto the chassis, so on and so forth. That's actually smart. It makes me wonder a little bit if I can make the Supra into a double wishbone.
That's nice.
Right? Sphericals.
I don't have to preload anything.
Boom. In.
Jackie?
Yes.
What are we doing here?
I would like to, at least take some pride in being able to work on cars and turn a few wrenches. By installing what will be the easiest part of this install job, rated at 2 out of 10, and half an hour install on MPP's website, the master cylinder brace. So first off, you'll need to remove this very important cable, which I think we should secure it somewhere. I don't think you should just leave this dangling, because in the event of a fire emergency, this is the one you cut. And we're moving it, so I think we should at least secure it somewhere. But pretty simply, you remove these 2 bolts, take the clip off of this, put this somewhere important, install it, washer, nut, bolt, done. How hard can that be? We'll find out. First bolt wouldn't come out, and that would be really fun. Alex, why don't you show the people about the brakes?
Oh.
About the new brake lines and the brake fluid that went in. While I
Cool.
quickly uninstall this.
I should cap the brake reservoir first.
We should probably do that.
So the front is all done. You got the new upper control arm. Actually, we're on like max camber setting. Straight to max camber setting. Oh my god.
This will be 3.5 degrees.
Should be. Depends on ride height, no?
Something like that.
You're gonna getting all that mid corner grip.
You need it, you know? We do need it. This car is desperate for some
Jack is
Camber.
struggling.
camber, you know. It's very important for something this heavy, I think, especially in a tire that really like the A052, where it really needs all that camber. Give it as much as it needs, you know? And we'll see how it feels after this.
And then we got the MPP Brake Lines in my favorite color, blue. And hiding behind the knuckle is a coilover. It's actually there's a very nice chunky bottom piece around the axle, because for the overdrive version it has to go around the axle and bolt into the lower control arm.
One thing that we found actually kind of interesting, the regular version, the sport coilovers for the rear-wheel drive version, i.e. doesn't have the front axle, those come with a full-length shock and a remote reservoir. This doesn't, literally just because of space constraints at this point. So you can't really fit everything in there. So it's okay, you know, as long as it performs.
Yeah, it didn't have a lot of room to to
start
stroke,
with,
but
yeah.
I don't think it needs a lot of room. It's a track car, it's not a rally car.
I do
Yes.
really like the front upper control arm design, the way it
Let the whole
bolts
thing
onto
just
the
drop out.
way it bolts onto the top hat, you know, it's all one piece. That's really smart to me, and it gives me idea. You know, I talked about it last time secretly. It gives me hope for converting the Supra to a double wishbone front.
It's not gonna be that easy.
No, I know. It won't. Nothing is ever easy. So here goes. With those bolts out, you replace them with your new hardware. First off, you need these spacers, which one mounts over here, 2 mounts over here, so it creates a level surface for this to sit on. Beautiful piece. You can really be easy to tell, you know, you don't want this side. This is the side that's supposed to face down. This is the side that will go in. Find your hole, line it up, you know, use your tools, ask for your partner's consent.
Oh yeah, as we all know, every time to work on the car on a weekend,
Yes.
partner's consent is always
Obviously,
important.
it's very important.
Yes.
There's this very peculiar looking box that's dangling, and it has a lot of orange wires on it. And as we know from our previous experiences, well, we don't really have any previous experiences, but just looking at it, orange and red is danger. Be careful, don't touch it, don't fuck with it. We don't want to be electrocuted like a Gears and Gasoline's car, where they had "Stop, you will be killed" sticker on their battery pack. So that's what the orange wire suggests to me, and we're gonna leave it alone. Just then, it's a little bit hard to get to it. Fuck. Cut. No, I shall prove my self-worth and show that I can indeed do this. I just need 7 arms. Everything is okay.
I love seeing you struggle.
We're not leaving this in. We're showing the Mountainpass Performance makes very innovative and clever designs. Here we go. All right. If I keep this on it, then the mass of this thing. Oh, here we go. We'll keep it.
Is the back of it actually on the mass system then? It is.
Yeah, it's not yet, but yeah, it will be soon. I just need to line this up. Oh, there's a
Ta-da! Here.
second chance. Back from the gulag.
1 eternity later.
Fuck. The washer's on it, so my right hand is currently occupied.
Do you need a third arm?
I do need a third arm, and I need very. Oh, nearly dropped it.
Alright, you know what? Let me do this.
Okay. Oh, the washing fell off. Come on. Oh. Do. We're good. We are good. Yes.
Everything's easier when you have a third arm.
Yes. Thank you, Alex's arm. Easy.
This only took like what, 10 minutes?
It's gonna be a what? What happened? Here we go.
You know we got power tools, right?
Fuck. Look at how nice this product fits.
Question.
Yeah.
Is that thing supposed to be over this or supposed to be under it? That negative. I think it's supposed to be under it.
Fuck!
I'm not joking. I think it's supposed to be under it.
I know. Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh no.
Cut.
Without anybody else's help, I said
You magically put that wire under the cylinder frame.
single-handedly, okay? Not dual-handedly, technically speaking. But, you know, I totally did all of this without anybody else's help and without Alex dropping the camera to help me. But that's okay. More to the point, the master cylinder brace is in. Just go take a look.
Like way stiffer.
Yeah.
You can still almost see the thing flex a little bit, but it's
I think
way stiffer.
regardless, it's supposed to flex just a tiny bit, but it reduces the displacement, right, of how much it actually moves. So this is nice. It does give you a decent chunk more feedback, which, I mean, you kind of expect it to if you put it towards the chassis, right? That's cool. I like it. Cool. What an extra upgrade.